All right. Then if everybody's ready, why don't we get started? This is session 5 of the as yet unnamed Daggerheart campaign. Hopefully we run into a situation where the group decides to name themselves eventually. The smoke from the campfire in front of you blurs your vision, and for a moment, you aren't being told a story about a life you've lived before. For a moment, you're there. And then just as quickly, you're back in the safety of the campfire. You look around and realize from the looks in the eyes of those around you that you weren't alone in this experience. You weren't the only one there. As the warmth returns to your bones, you can, if you'd like, take a moment to discuss anything you need to with your fellow adventurers. And also, just as a little out of character thing, if you guys don't want to do these campfire recaps, if you guys don't really find you're having anything to say, we can skip these going forward. I just am doing them for now.
I don't have anything at the moment.
Sounds good.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to recap because I'm about to recap, but it also, I don't know. I like to leave that space, but if you guys, maybe we'll just keep leaving the space just in case, but there's no pressure to have to say anything.
I like the idea. However, my brain is sieve.
All right. When you're quiet and settled again, the story continues. The 100-year peace celebration started amazing. You met new friends, you shared incredible food, and you won a variety of carnival games that were supposed to be rigged against you. Overall, an incredible day. Except the official kickoff was interrupted by a young girl, apparently in distress, seeking help for her younger brother who was taken by bandits. Being the good-hearted adventurers that you are, you rushed to the woods where he was last seen to try to rescue him. The woods were a maze with danger around every corner, including bandits who like leaping from trees on top of you, and bears just trying to get a good nap. Eventually, though, you found Tommy, Amara's brother, and dispatched with his captors. Except, Tommy didn't even seem to know he was captured. To him, it was something of a game, just camping in the woods. He told you that even his sister, the girl who had said that someone was in distress and sent you on this adventure, was in on it. Confused and wondering if you'd done the right thing, you brought Tommy out of the woods with the intentions of taking him home. Except, when you cleared the trees and could see Skyland again, you saw that it wasn't how you left it. It looked like a bomb had gone off. Smoke and flames shooting into the sky above the floating island. You rushed back, desperate to help wherever you could and find some answers along the way. But mostly what you found was death and destruction. Eventually, you ran into the Herald of the Square and exchanged information. When you mentioned the jagged knife bandits you found in the woods, he told you that there were some being kept in the prison below Skyland, and you were welcome to speak to them. He led you to the door and let you in, and that's where we pick up today. Adventurers, what would you like to do? So what you see before you is essentially a long hallway, pretty dimly lit. And so far, unless I did something wrong on Roll20, that's all you see.
Shall we move forward?
Yeah.
Those who are in front.
Yeah, we did kind of arrange ourselves for, like a scouting and a rear guard and our very tanky guardian.
Would you like to
in the back?
If you'd like to just move forward as that group, I can actually hold on just a second. I can make this.
I cannot move Pazu.
Oh, really? Here, hold on.
Classic Pazu, just not listening to a thing.
True. Yeah.
For some reason,
Pazu
was not.
Pazu's just like,
can you move Pazu now?
I do what I do. Check. Yes.
Okay. If you'd like, sorry, I'll move Pazu back just 1 second. If you'd like to move in the same order, I can just save you guys time and just kind of move you all myself.
Sure.
Like that.
Being shunted.
All of us confused people in the middle. We're good.
Just shuffling down a hallway. I know what you see on the map looks like it's super narrow. We're not going to play it as it's still going to be pretty narrow because you're in a dungeon. but it's not going to be like you guys have no place to move, because that doesn't seem very fun if danger were to arise.
What could possibly be dangerous down here?
In a dungeon.
Right.
I feel like we're one of those pre-K classes that's like holding onto a rope. Just
yeah, exactly. That's how I want you to envision it. So,
do you have your line buddy?
Yeah.
As you get to the end of the hallway, thankfully, no danger, but you do find yourself running into a door that appears to be closed. You can go from there as you would like.
Maybe the door is an illusion and we need to ignore it.
You go ahead and try that. Right after you.
Can I detect magic on the door?
Who's our door opener? We haven't run into doors before, so we haven't figured out things like that.
That's a great question. You like to wait? Do you have detect magic? Is that a thing?
I have arcane sense.
Oh, okay. You can sense the presence of magic
and objects.
Okay, and you don't get any magical vibes from the door. The door appears to be a door.
Adorable.
Fantastic.
Is it really a gazebo?
It's adorable. That's for sure.
Nice.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Okay, well, we can move forward and try to open it. Is it...
Open the door.
Is it trapped? Is it, can I detect that?
You like to?
What do I do?
I would say that would be an instinct roll to see if the door appears trapped.
Stinky.
Ooh, that's a 16 with fear.
Okay. You know what? I'm not going to take a fear. You
We
examine.
need to stop giving him fear. That's not good.
Sorry about that.
You need to. You examine the door. It's a wooden door, pretty solid, pretty thick. It does not appear, from what you can tell, to be trapped. But because you rolled with fear, you do get a small splinter.
Oh. Okay, then we will attempt to open this door.
Okay.
Are we opening it quietly? Could Maz kind of jumps in like, hey, let's, kind of nudge it open slowly and go against every fiber of my being instead of just bursting open in the loud fashion.
Maz
Just
yells from the back of the line.
Yes. Remember the bear, everybody. Remember the bear. Be cool. No, it's like a whisper.
Really gets
it's a whisper
startled. Just starts looking around like, bear?
Yeah.
Hilo looks back and says, I think this is the wrong sort of cave for bears.
It's a good point.
So you're attempting to open the door quietly. You do find in investigation that the door is locked. So one of you will need to attempt to open it, just as an FYI, a little out of the game, but finesse is probably what you're looking at for.
I'm not very finessey.
I don't know if anybody's very finessey. I don't think that anybody really has the background to
Okay, I guess it's me
open.
then.
You got the silo.
I got this because I have finesse is my secondary kind of thing, but I have quick hands as a experience, so I can attempt that, I guess.
Okay. So you're using quick hands to kind of speed pick the door?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how to do that.
Would you be spending a hope on that? Is that an experience?
Yes, you spend a hope to use an experience, and then it adds +2 to your roll.
So I need to get a little hope counter here because I can't change my thing. So hold on a second.
Are we talking to the mayor? Couldn't we have gotten a key from him? Shouldn't he have told us that the dungeon was locked?
Sure,
Okay,
you can go
let's
in,
see.
but you can't see anything.
You can go there. Oh no.
Hilo, I will say, as you lean down to start picking the lock, you do hear what sounds like metal clashing against metal and the sounds of physical exertion.
Uh-oh.
Who's running?
So as Hilo kind of is down here, he kind of cocks his head like he's listening, because he is. And so I think there may be others the cult not in jail here. And how do I use quick hands? I roll and then I add the +2.
You just roll a regular finesse roll, and then whatever your result is, just add 2.
Alrighty. Oh, nor. So I got a 10, but with the finesse, that's 11, and with the quick hands, that's 13. But it's with fear.
Okay. And with fear. All right.
Well, it's a 13 with everything.
Oh, yeah, sorry. 13
Yeah.
with fear. Okay. What do you use to attempt to pick the door? Like what are you
Oh, fingers.
is there anything on you? Do you find something
That's
on
a
the
really good
ground?
question. I don't think I have any, ironically, Hilo is using his pinky to try to reach in, and
Okay.
because I don't think I have any tools.
You have in your equipment basic supplies and a romance novel. I don't know if the romance novel helps.
No, the romance
Amazing.
novel is just inspiration.
It's
Okay.
Yeah.
study.
All right.
It's unlocking secrets of the heart, not of the door.
The rest of you watching, by the way, Hilo, as you're picking, silence behind the door. Whatever
they heard
sound
me.
you were hearing was turned into silence, and you shove your pinky into the lock, which is thankfully a rather wide lock, because you're pretty big, Clank, right? You're pretty big.
Well, I'm tall but lanky.
Tall but lanky. Okay, so you
Lanky Pinky.
The lanky pinky.
there's the group name. There it is. So you put your pinky in, and as you are turning and trying to like adjust to get the right angle to pick the lock, you hear the lock click into place. At the same time, you hear your pinky bend a little out of shape.
Clink out of place.
Yes. So
That's gonna hurt.
You have successfully picked the lock, but that pinky will not be available for lock picking until your next long rest. I don't know. Just making it up. Just making it up. So, you have picked the lock. As far as you know, the door is now ready to be opened.
And Hilo steps back, but he's kind of just looking at his finger now, going, trying to figure out how bad it is and wiggling it a little bit.
So the door is still closed, but presumably unlocked.
It's unlocked now.
Thank you, Hilo. Yriel will move forward cautiously,
Okay.
slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we know that there are sounds of activity past the door,
Okay.
push that open
Okay. So
gently.
wait, I'm not allowed to. Okay, there we go. And then
Nope.
the door is now open, and this will take just a moment of prep. So give me just a second here. Toko, can you tell them what they see when the door swings open?
As the doors,
What in the...
you see
It's decided.
a about 6 foot purple simian. He's kind of cleaning his blade, and he looks at you and he freezes as the door swings open. There's also a body on the ground, and he turns to you and says, "Okay, this is definitely not what it looks like." As he raises his hands in surrender. Unless what you think it looks like is me getting jumped by a lunatic and totally defending myself. In which case, yeah, it's exactly what it looks like.
Yriel, wise goblin of the world as she is, would like to approach the downed character and kind of give it a once over and see if that's maybe some of the jagged knife.
Okay. All right. You're going to go ahead and attempt to perceive, I believe. Let me pull up that would be an instinct roll as you kind of, I assume you're going to be keeping a close eye on Toko, but also looking down, like kind of.
That's what we have Pazu for.
Okay. That's fair.
Try it, buddy.
Try it.
And just behind Pazu is Hilo with his rapier held with his pinky out.
Delicately.
All right. Can you guys move through the door now? Are you able to do that?
No.
Oh, really?
I'm now stuck
can move.
in the door.
Even worse.
I just want to see who this good-looking guy is inside the room. I mean, because based off that voice, I mean, he's gorgeous.
I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move everybody. Can everybody move back a second if you're able to? I need to.
Now I can't move on the squares.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
Oops.
Does that work now?
Yay! Door's open.
Okay. Sorry. I
Did it.
don't know why
Okay.
the door was listed as closed. Andre, welcome to the game. By the way, thank you so much for joining us.
That's
Guest
such
appearance.
a fun surprise.
I love it.
The amount of
Wow.
effort, a little outside of the game here, but the amount of effort that I took to keep Michaela from discovering this beforehand
That's amazing.
was I would be like, I'm going to talk to Andre about some ideas I have for the campaign. So just don't listen because, we're going to be talking about story stuff that you guys are going to come up to. And then I would like, Andre, let's make your character. So it's been some
Amazing.
effort. You are in? Okay, Andre, I can now just 1 second give you control of Toko. Now that you are in, and then also like having Andre wait until
in a
like
hidden voice channel. Is that what just happened?
he's been hiding in a voice channel. The effort that we took to make this a secret. All right.
So when you do this
It's
episode,
brilliant.
you
I love
have
it.
to do a special just on the behind the scenes of all this that
Right.
what
Make
happened
A
on.
lot of very early morning dog walks.
right. We would walk our dogs together and just talk about like characters and ideas and stuff the whole time. So it's been, and then I'd come back and I'd be like, I want to tell Michaela that I talked to Andre while I was walking, but how would I explain it? Okay, she can't now. So
So he's been lying to you for months. I mean,
Yes.
that's what we just got to. He's been lying to you for months. Yes. He's been keeping Andre from you all to himself, which is actually the worst part of this entire thing. I mean,
know.
you
Well,
got to
I
share the
talked to
Andre.
I mean,
Andre?
she knew I was talking to Andre. She would just, Andre would be like, tell Michaela I say hi. And I'm like, okay, Andre, I gotta go. Bye. All right. Anyways, so Yriel was bending down to investigate the armor-clad individual, presumably just felled by Toko.
Yes.
What was your instinct roll?
Instinct is. That's not a happy sound. That's going to be 15 with fear.
15 with fear. Okay. As you bend down, I unfortunately can't keep making up excuses about how you guys take paper cuts and things, so I'm going to take a fear. What you notice, first of all, is you notice that this person at Toko's feet is covered in armor that you recognize a little bit. It looks a little bit like the armor of any guards you would have seen milling about Skyland. They look a little more heavily armored, but it does look a lot like their armor. The difference is, as you bend down to investigate, you're kind of poking around, maybe like, you lift the chest plate or the breastplate of the armor, I guess it's called. And underneath it, you notice the person doesn't appear to be wearing underneath an armor what you expect. It looks like a dark cloak, potentially with a symbol on the chest.
Ah. Okay. So this looks like a city guard from the outside, but we are not convinced that's who it is. All right. You there with the sword? Yeah. What's your
No, sword is on the floor. I've got my hands
Okay.
up.
All right. What is going on here?
Okay, this guy, he had it coming. It's like I kick the corpse, just nudging the corpse a little bit. Look, trust me. Like I was minding my own business. I was trying to stop an actual disaster from ruining the 100-year peace celebration in Cogsburg. When, things escalated. I overheard some really sketchy stuff. Ran into someone who maybe recognized me, as you do. And next thing I know, I'm getting locked up in this And he kind of looks around. Fine establishment. 5 stars, would not recommend.
What plans were you thwarting?
I'm not quite sure. It was very abstract, but they were talking about putting a damper on celebrations. So I just it didn't seem right.
We also hate party poopers.
And bears.
Some of us dislike bears.
So can I lower my hands, maybe?
You may lower your hands. Don't make any sudden moves. Pazu is always watching.
Okay. As I lower my hands, I take a very violent sneeze. Sorry. Hands up again.
Pazu is unperturbed, so I will allow it.
Good thing my cat runs away with sneezes.
I was going to say, I don't
Pazu's
know
way
that
better.
Toko is going to know who Pazu is. So I will say that.
Pazu is the sand cat, my companion.
Oh, awesome. Cool. I like animals. I'm one myself,
Okay.
as you can see.
All right.
I
Well,
lower my hands.
carefully. Cover your sneezes also.
I'll try next time.
Okay. Anybody else have input on the situation?
Yriel, did you see a symbol on this guy's cloak? What was that?
I can't really make it out. The breastplate is blocking it, but it seems like the armor doesn't fit well over the clothing underneath.
I wonder if this was a bandit from the Jagged Knife,
Possibly.
dressed up in guard's armor. Toko, have you seen any more of these types of people down here?
I have heard more. I was restrained for a little while, but luckily they did not know their knots very well. I know there's more of them. I heard them talking as they walked up and down the corridors.
How long have you been here?
About a day and a half or so.
So, before things exploded all over the island, Toko was already a resident of this fine establishment.
That would be correct, yes.
Did you hear the explosions down here?
No. Did they manage to thwart the party?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, they did. All of Skyland is in flames and disrepair. I'm sorry to tell you.
oh, okay. Well, that sucks. You see Toko like reaching into his pouch, and as he kind of puts his hand in, he looks around and kind of almost asks for permission without saying a word. And kind of grabs a notebook and kind of opens his notebook, and then like he keeps it very close to his chest and like scribbles something and then closes it, puts it back in. Like, all right. Were there many injured?
Yes, there were.
Oh. Damn it.
It is more than our seraph could help, could assist. We did have to pull her away for her own safety and health.
Mm.
It is not a pretty sight above ground.
And you see a single tear just drop from Svetlana's eye, and she wipes it away quickly before she thinks anyone can see.
I'm really, really sorry to hear that. It's I thought I was going to be able to help here, but apparently it wasn't. It wasn't enough. What are you all trying to do?
Well, we're in search of the prisoners from the Jagged Knife. We suspect that they have something to do with this corruption in the city, this explosion that happened during the 1,000 years celebration. So we're trying to find them to figure out if, they have more plans, if this was their big plan, what they plan to do next. And it seems like you killed one of their associates, so thank you for that.
Well, I thought taking this guy out would throw a wrench in their plans, but no. Apparently, blowing things up is easier than I thought.
It is not
Fantastic.
your fault. They have many associates, I fear. But you did what you could.
Toko, right? Toko, is that it?
Yes.
Okay. Have you seen any more of the prison under the island here? Is this as far as you were taken?
This is as far as I was taken. I was restrained in the corner in this room, and he points to the corner where the southeast corner of the room.
So, are you talking here?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So
Assuming this is true north and stuff.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I see there's an office there. Is that locked? Can we get into that office?
You absolutely can get into the office. Yep.
And Maz looks over towards Toko and just asks, have you searched the body?
No, I literally just put it down.
Hilo may have heard this character's final moments.
Oh.
I don't know if Hilo is aware of that. But
I did hear a scuffle.
Hilo heard a scuffle, but there was the issue of the lanky pinky.
Even the lanky pinkies.
We're not talking about your toe, Maz.
It always comes back.
I do not like this phrase.
Maz walks up towards the fallen, soldier, and rifles through, the pockets, examining, the body to see if there's anything of note. Paying particular mind to the symbol that sort of popped up underneath, I guess, the armor, and then if there's anything. Even on the weapons, if there's anything demarcating whether or not this person was definitely a member of the Jagged Knife. If I recall, a Jagged Knife is the band, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're looking for two things. A, you're looking for the Jagged Knife symbol. B, you're looking for any loot. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I feel like I'd paid close attention to any weapons because there might be something symbolizing the Jagged Knife on there as well, not just the clothing.
Gotcha. Okay. You are going to need to roll for that. So if you could roll that's an instinct roll as well.
So if you could roll with hope, that'd be great.
Yes, and also, I don't want to give away your game, but you do have the astute observer experience, so that might help you here.
Yep, I will use that.
Okay.
And I have plenty of hope to use, so I will. Hold on, I'm on my piece of paper, so I gotta take off a hope on my piece of paper. So that gives me a +2. So I rolled a 10 with fear +2. So it's a 12 with fear. We can't win. We're just giving it all. Just piles of fear tokens. Piles.
All right. So the first thing you notice when you are searching this guard is you notice kind of the super obvious things. You notice that he is carrying a pretty typical broadsword. So just a regular broadsword, doesn't look like anything special. Armor-wise, it is full plate armor. So kind of what you would expect Both of those things are lootable should you want to, if anybody needs any of those. We'll say for the sake of the story, you remove the breastplate of the armor.
Mm-hmm.
And underneath, you notice robes, kind of like Yriel was telling you. And on those robes, very clearly now that the breastplate armor is removed, you find the symbol of the jagged knife. Almost inside the armor is kind of a coating of blood. Like there is like when you take the breastplate off and look at the back of it, there is both wet blood, and then underneath that there looks to be some older blood, maybe as if this armor did not originally own or belong to the person that is wearing it. So you do notice that, but you do have that you can take. And also, let me see. I'm gonna give you guys an opportunity to actually find some loot here.
Shake it, buddy. Shake it.
Shake, shake,
Shine?
shake it.
Okay. All right. Oh, well, drop that dice. Hold on, try again. In his pockets, you find a set of manacles, which is
A what?
manacles, like handcuffs, basically.
Manicure.
Okay.
Fancy handcuffs, and they have a key. So
Ooh.
that is what you find in his pockets.
So I'll
Me with these.
certainly hold up and be like, "Hey, everybody, check this out! Got a key." And with the breastplate, because I'm assuming I'm the one who really sees this more than everyone else, is that it seems like this armor is both well used, and this person was clearly a member of the Jagged Knife, and so I think the conspiracy goes even deeper than we thought, because this person looked like a guard, but is obviously in on the entire plan or plot or whatever we'll uncover here. Now I don't know what this key is for, however. So I'm thinking we should start to move on out, and then Maz looks over towards Toko and asks Toko, would you be willing to accompany us to find out, get to the bottom of what's happening with the Jagged Knife and these explosions in the town?
I don't know if I'm gonna be very, very useful. Like, seriously, I spent weeks tracking these lunatics, took out their guy, ended up in a dungeon for it, and they still managed to blow everything to bits.
Well, you were able to take down this individual here who is both well armed and seems experienced at fighting. So that tells me that there is something that you have to offer.
I don't know. Feels like I was the guy that whiffed it. But sure. I'll try to help. Toko kind of lowers himself very gently to grab his sword that's on the ground, and the piece of fabric that he was trying to clean his sword with as he got in, kind of looking at Jen's character very sheepishly.
Oh, I should give Toko a list of characters. That would actually be...
Sorry.
Actually, if you guys would like to introduce yourselves to our guest star here, that would be fantastic.
That's a good idea. I was like, oh, maybe I could get a character sheet, or not a character sheet, but pull up the guide, the information about the type of character, but I cannot do that on Demiplane right now.
Are you saying you would like a character sheet for Toko? Might I recommend
That'd be great.
that link?
I don't know
that link
anything
right
about
there?
his
And
heritage.
Andre, you have access to all of our Daggerheart channels now, so you can see our nonsense, and also materials is where we keep the general stuff like
Fantastic. I see
rules,
it.
character sheets.
I see it.
Planning this as a secret, Andre couldn't see anything, he couldn't join Roll20 before. It's been chaos. It's been chaos.
Amazing work, both of you, though.
So good though.
Big kudos. Big kudos.
The whoever did the gasp when Andre showed up, that was the moment that I was living for. That was the moment right there. Whoever did that. Whew.
It might have been me.
Also, I do want to say,
I know that guy.
I do want to say,
Mine was a little bit more of a swoon, if I'm going to be honest. I mean, that's pretty much.
Oh, John.
Toko actually said that he was coming to the 100-year piece in Cogsburg. He meant from Cogsburg.
Yes, from Cogsburg.
I kind of assumed that
Yes.
when he said Cogsburg, that it was coming from there.
I figured you guys would know that.
You guys
but
are neighbors.
yeah, so just wanted to make sure.
Do you two know
I
each
can
other?
go. My name is Yriel. I'm Goblin Ranger Wanderborn. We're a nomadic community, and Pazu is my animal companion. He's a sand cat because our sort of gathering center is in the desert region. And I came to the 100-year celebration just to see the sights, watch people, and meet up with my old friend Maz, if I could find her. She's usually getting into some kind of trouble.
Frequently getting into trouble, especially with bears, often with the toe, revisiting the Skyland, much to meet up with Yriel again, a long time friend, and also because I had lived there previously, although not kind of all the details have been shared of my time and experience there, but know the city, rather well because of it. Growing up on, kind of in the dregs and especially the docks and kind of like sea area after I had finally moved out of Skyland, and tend to just jump into things when I shouldn't. Start things when I shouldn't, and suffer the consequences. Mostly bears.
Mostly bears.
So
Yeah.
Maz is a fairy guardian, which is a bit like, like I said, a little bit like a barbarian in other games. So
Yes, more like a tanky style barbarian, I'd say, right? Something like that.
Totally
And,
bears.
My name is Svetlana, and I am a Furbolg seraph. I hail from Svinia, which is a mountainous region south of Skyland. My greatest wish is just to heal people and to spread the word of my god Kor, who is the god of the sunlight. And to help others the way that he has helped me.
Very, very nice to meet you, Svetlana, sorry.
Bogha and Hilo, either one of you would like to?
Yeah, I'm Hilo. I'm a clank bard from Cogsburg, and met these weird people because of Pazu, who's fascinating. Pazu's the sand cat, just to remind you.
Fantastic.
I mean, and if there's one thing I think most of us like, it's fried potatoes. I just got to put that out there.
Yeah. Bow, bow.
Bogha from the confines of her cloak that she's kind of just pulled around herself because she's not really comfortable with Toko. Just kind of peeps out. Bogha-Froise. The bed sorcerer.
Sorry, what?
Bogha's
Okay. I see. Got it. Okay. Toko hails from the endless forest. He was originally a skilled hunter with deep brown fur, and lived his life with his pack until not a pack, I guess, but I don't know what a group of monkeys is, but his life kind of takes a turn when he's captured by a crazed wizard, exiled for kind of his dangerous experiments. This wizard tries to infuse Toko with the forest's magic, which as a side effect turns his fur into an unnatural purple. And even though Toko manages to escape, this wizard, the experiment leaves its mark, both kind of physically and emotionally. So now, as kind of a wandering outsider, Toko tries to kind of find this place in the world, and while at the same time, trying to find and make friends, while at the same time being naturally suspicious of people because of his past experiences.
And also, just to be clear, in case the icon is very small, a Simia is kind of like a monkey. It's a monkey-looking character. How are you tall? Are you small? Where are you?
I'm tall. I'm about 5'4", 5'5".
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I think I can. Let me see if I can pull up a picture here. Can I post it into materials?
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
I like it.
Toko, everyone, Toko.
It is nice to meet you, Toko.
Nice to meet you all also.
Can I take a moment to search through the desk and the office area to try to find keys or a logbook or something that might have some indication of the prisoners that have been kept here?
You absolutely can. That, for you, is going to be an instinct roll.
I got double 2s.
Jeez, of course you did.
So I take a hope, right?
Yay!
Okay, you take a hope. You clear a stress if you have one, which I don't think you do. Andre, just catch you up. Any double number in Daggerheart on your D12s is a crit. So even double ones is still considered a crit. So
even 2s are good when they're doubled.
Right. Yes. You automatically succeed, and you gain a hope, clear a stress. So you get everything, all that in a bag of chips.
All that in a bag of chips. Yep.
Okay. So Svetlana kind of pulls out the drawers. Just kind of, I would say, from my perspective, it would be a little bit haphazard because you guys are kind of in a rush, just kind of pulling drawers out, seeing what's there. The first thing that you find is you do find logbooks of the prison that this is. You find logbooks, but looking through those logbooks, you do notice that most of the dates on them kind of precede everything that's been happening. So rather than, I guess not, they're not useful. You find logbooks, but as far as you can tell from what you know of the date, the logs essentially stop right around the time that the 100-year peace started. You do keep going through the drawers and find, much to your luck and my chagrin, a key that I don't know, might be helpful. You don't know what it's for, but it's a key. So
Okay.
you find a key, and you don't really find anything else that's, you know what? I'm gonna give you a reward for such a good roll. So let's roll for some more loot. You also find oh my god. Okay. You also find a recipe to make minor health potions.
Ooh.
I will learn that recipe.
That is awesome.
Good lord.
She will learn the heck out of that recipe.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Session 5 and the healer finds a recipe for minor health potions. Anyway.
I mean, she's using that right after she chops somebody in half.
Right.
I'm just putting it out there for everybody.
Right.
And,
To be perfectly clear, I did not pick that the healer was going to find that. I am rolling.
Yeah.
Based on your roll, I'm rolling dice to see what you guys find, and just happened to get incredibly lucky. So,
That's awesome.
Huzzah!
Yes. You say healer, and I say I've seen her deal as much damage as to do healing.
Well, we don't quibble about such things here.
they have a lot to catch you up on, Toko.
I deal out righteous judgment. Okay.
There we go.
Maz is actually off, just like shaking in the corner slightly as she hears that statement, and they keep looking.
So Hilo's been staring at this guy in armor,
Mhm.
and then he kind of looks around at his compatriots and goes, "Is anyone about his size?"
That's a good idea, Hilo. I like him.
I would say that looking at since we haven't talked about how tall the guard is, the I guess what was presumed to be a guard, you guys know that it's not now. But Bogha is about, you guys do the hands thing, and Bogha is about a similar height to this guard on the ground.
Even if Bogha wasn't, they have that transform thing, right?
Uncanny disguise.
Yeah.
That thing.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
Since we have one of their prisoners, we might be able to get further along if he's willing to play along. Big smile.
Oh, I see what you're doing there. Toko looks at the armor and says, I might have poked a new holes in the armor, but as long as you hold me close to you, I guess that might just work.
You may want to wipe it off first, though, before we go and put that one on, because I gotta be honest there, Toko. You made a bit of a mess.
Toko kind of self high fives. Like, what? I was hoping for a pat.
Bogha just comes over and Bogha just kind of pokes the armor, like, yeah. Give me a few minutes. Just I find a corner to go around. Privacy, please.
Just to be clear, are you uncanny disguising, or are you putting on the armor?
Uncanny disguising.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are they putting the armor on, and is that going to have like a detrimental effect to their abilities?
I was assuming. Go ahead.
See, I'm not sure whether uncanny disguise just means the actual meat of the person or the armor as well, like the clothes.
I would assume, from my understanding, when it says you take on the facade of any humanoid, that you could also disguise yourself to be armored up. That would be my take. But so
Yeah.
if you are looking at the armor and you have this magical spell, you can definitely make it appear as if you're wearing very similar armor. That'd be my understanding.
And just to join in, Hilo is also going to adjust his appearance and clothing to, so he doesn't look like the shiny adventurer. He looks like more like another prisoner.
Oh, okay.
He can't make himself look like a guard, but he can make himself look kind of like his clothing's disheveled and.
Okay.
Little disguise.
Does the guard have like a face covering? Like is a head covered?
Yeah, I would picture it. I don't know if you can see the icon very well, but I would picture this guy as, this one in particular at least, as having the helmet on. Because if you think about it, this person who was posing as a guard was essentially the first person anybody would see if they were coming down to check on the goings on in the dungeon. So he seemed to have a performance aspect to his role as well.
So Bogha is now impersonating a person that was impersonating a guard.
It's very meta. We love it.
Look, there's a lot of layers to this.
Okay.
Is there
But
going...
there's the mouth is not going to be quite right. I can't see the rest of the face, only like the eyes. So it's like
you can
just
take off his
slightly
helmet.
wrong in different places.
We could take off his helmet if that helps.
Now just come out from a corner like, right, ready. Ready.
So Maz found some manacles.
Maz picked him up and is putting him into her, I guess, stuff.
I was going to say slap them on Toko, but maybe first make sure one of those keys can unlock them.
So naturally, Maz was not really thinking that far ahead and was just going to wing it. So that great suggestion, Yriel. And so Maz takes out the manacles, clicks them, locked with, nobody's hands in them, to be clear, and then sticks the key inside and turns and hopes to hear a click.
Manacles open back up. The key that you found with the manacles appears to be for the manacles.
What a stroke of luck.
That's really convenient.
That's maniacal, almost.
So how is this going to work if the rest of us are joining clearly we're not prisoners or guards. So are we following along or
So Maz, I have an idea, Svetlana.
Oh, yes.
Uh-oh.
Perhaps we could take Toko and we could slap a manacle onto Toko's wrist, and then we could take the other manacle and slap it on someone else's wrist. And it's as though they're both being carried along by Bogha.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. And then that way we've got at least two people rolling with Bogha as Bogha tries to, help us navigate this and kind of goes ahead of us as we navigate the dungeon.
I'm envisioning the ultimate tag team.
Yes.
I volunteer Maz.
You would. That tracks. That sounds exactly right. But actually, Maz makes that kind of snarky comment, but knows, that in the past, this is exactly what we would, normally do. And, Maz is fairly good at reading people and agile and able to jump out as long as the toe is doing well of various situations. And so kind of like nods and looks towards Toko and indicates, looks towards Toko like are following along and seeing if, this could be our tentative plan to start to navigate the dungeon with Bogha and Toko and myself leading the way.
Before Toko has a moment to answer, you guys all stop for a moment as everything seems to kind of shift around you, almost as if you take a moment and you look around and it's almost as if there's like an earthquake, but above you. And you look around, maybe some of you cower a little bit. You're not sure what's happening. And then the sound and the vibration settles down. Back to calm.
So Toko says, it's fine. This has been happening. It's fine.
Since when?
When would the explosion have happened?
So you said you've been in the dungeon for about a day and a half. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So it would have been about a day ago.
Yeah. So yeah, shortly after I got here, it started happening. I thought it was a thing that was already part of this dungeon.
Yeah, just a reminder for kind of everybody, the way it works is Skyland, giant island floating in the sky. You are essentially in the crust of earth underneath the sky island. So still floating in the sky, but underground. And the rumbling seems to be coming from above you. That's all. So
I don't think that is okay. I think that is Skyland exploding on the surface. I think that is what you have been hearing.
We'll have to deal with what's in front of us right now, and unless we abandon the idea of trying to find the people in the jagged knife here in the dungeon, then we're gonna have to move forward and hope for the best.
So we have Toko and Maz in front with Bogha and Hilo behind them, and then guiding them, and then Svetlana, myself, and Yriel in the back, following from a distance, or
Yes, from a distance would be best.
okay.
And Maz, go ahead.
I would hand the key that I found to Bogha and say, I think this might have passage to something in the dungeon. So you better take this as the guard.
Thank you. Thank you.
Maz offers up, but takes out both of her short swords and says that, somebody else should carry these so I seem like an unarmed, prisoner as we start to go throughout. And offers them up, looks towards Bogha, and Bogha, would you be able to, is there anywhere to carry these on your person, or do we need to hand them to somebody else?
How heavy is it?
I mean, they're short swords, so.
Okay. I reluctantly put my hands on them. I will be safe.
So, GM, can we weigh in? Is that something that Bogha could carry?
Yeah, I mean, Bogha can carry both of the swords. If the illusion is that Bogha is attempting to lead 2 to 3 of you, I think having both of their hands full might be
Yeah.
I guess you could be getting stabbed in the back with little pokes from the sword. But you just have to think about how it might appear to anyone you run into, because if it appears that
to hold up both swords at once.
Right, if it appears that Bogha is so encumbered that they're not actually taking care of the prisoners, just something to think about. I mean, doesn't mean you can't try it, but
Yriel can carry short swords. I mean, that's not a...
Toko, how do you respond when they offer to put a manacle on you after having just escaped?
Toko kind of acts like, you can see Toko being very, very uncomfortable about it, and he says, "Don't lock it. Don't lock it. Just. I'd like to be able to act at any time.
Okay. So
please don't restrain."
I do not. Does it not lock when I close them?
I think you can. It'll take a little effort, but if you try to make it appear as if it's closed and locked, you could have it where it's on Toko's arm, but not necessarily clasped.
Yeah.
But any sudden movements at all, and that's going to fall off. So, yeah. Also, Toko, what would you do with your sword in this? You see Maz handing off 2 swords to... They're basically just passing swords around, deciding who's going to carry what.
Right, yeah. So I pick up, I've picked up my sword earlier as I kind of lowered myself sheepishly looking at Yriel. And I kind of finished cleaning it up, and I put it in my back sheath, so it's not necessarily visible.
Mm-hmm.
And I put my hands behind my back, so you can.
Okay.
So this is a metal thing, right?
The manacles?
Yes.
Metal. It's big metal loops essentially that would close down.
So I'll put them behind my back and make a point of trying to make the noise of the manacles.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense, so that they think, okay, he's got it.
Okay.
To be clear, there's only one manacles, and you are attached to Maz, so one of your hands is manacled.
Mm-hmm.
And Maz has the other hand manacled.
Oh, I thought I was kind of...
No, they're basically deciding to lock 2 prisoners together, one arm to one arm, and then led by a single guard. I guess.
Oh, I see. Okay, yes, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, sorry.
Also, couple points of order, Toko. You do have a tail that functions as a separate limb if you need to use that for any clever reasons. Sorry that this is breaking the illusion a little bit. Second of all, you also have 2 swords. You have a long sword and a short sword. So just
can I roll to use my tail to kind of align the swords behind me such that they kind of hide behind my head almost?
Yeah, that feels I'm gonna say that's an agility roll. It's tough. It could be finesse, but we'll say for this case, it is. You are attempting to do something that requires pretty smooth motions.
All right, let's see. 9 fear, 4 hope.
So that's a 13 with fear.
Yep.
Does anybody else kind of help out Toko to like check to see if it's working, or is Toko just doing this based on his own gut reaction of whether he succeeded? Is anybody just looking to be like, hey, that worked? Or is everybody caught up in their own thing?
I don't have any like points to add to it.
Yeah.
So Hilo's gonna treat it like a performance,
Mm-hmm.
and try to give him some guidance on how to keep things out of sight. Like, oh no, that's not it right there. No, wait. Okay, now move sideways. Okay, nope. Your tail poked over the side. Like that.
Okay.
And
is that any of your abilities, or is that just like a
fake it till you make it?
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay.
Oh, cool.
And could you roll a d6 for me, Hilo?
Okay.
We're going to give Toko advantage that you're going to help because you're helping out.
Oh my. So that would be a 6.
Okay. So that makes that a 19 with fear. Because you rolled with fear, and because I have just a wealth of fear stacked up, I'm not going to take a fear token. You do drop both of your swords midway through trying to set this up. They clatter. You freeze. Nothing seems to happen. No one seems to come rushing when they hear swords clattering. But you do manage to pick them up, and with Hilo's help, you get them hidden behind you.
Yes.
Oh, actually, I just realized something. Did you add 3 to your roll? Because it was a agility roll?
No.
Oh,
No, I
sorry.
did not.
Sorry. You as well. But Toko, did you?
Toko did not, actually.
Okay,
No.
so that's more like a 21. No, that's 16, 22, 25. So like nobody has any idea, let alone that you have swords, that you have a tail at this point because
Okay, fair enough.
because of how well Hilo has guided you on this performance.
Awesome. Yeah. So Toko keeps both his swords hidden away behind him. He doesn't want to lose control.
Mm-hmm.
And
Makes
like
sense.
the whole restraining thing makes him very uncomfortable, but that probably just adds to the belief, the faithfulness of this like performance acting that we're about to do, right? Like
Right.
you're supposed to look uncomfortable and fearful as a prisoner.
Okay, so just to be clear, the order we have going down this hallway, we have Toko and Maz up front. Toko is pretending to be manacled. Maz actually has a manacle around one of her limbs. Is that correct in the front?
Yes.
Okay. Hilo is between Bogha and these two. Is that what we're looking at?
Yes. Also looking dejected with his hands in front, like he's manacled, but there's no manacles there.
Okay, got it. And then Bogha, disguised as a guard, is following the both of them. And Bogha, were you wielding 2 swords, or did you hand one off? That got complicated for my brain. So.
Handed one off. Only holding the one.
Okay.
But
I've got Yriel has Maz's spare sword.
Okay.
But Yriel and Pazu are kind of hanging behind because nobody is going to look at the sand cat and be like, oh yeah, that's a normal dungeon prisoner.
It's a dungeon cat, obviously. All right. Anything else anybody needs before
would you
you
wrap the dungeon cat?
Go ahead, Bogha. Sorry, didn't mean to talk over you.
No, sorry. It's alright.
Yeah, I was just seeing if there's anything else you guys needed before you start making your way downtown, down the hallway. Sorry.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Leave it to the bard.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
All right.
Stop singing, prisoner.
Hilo
Yriel's
sighs
coaching. If
audibly.
you kind of shake the sword at them, that's great for intimidation.
And does anybody else, I mean, because we've been going for about an hour-ish, a little over an hour, does anybody need a bio break real quick or anything like that before we dive into the hallway?
We can quick pause. Take a quick break for a bathroom
Yeah.
break. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yay.
Uno momento, por flavor.
See you all in a moment.
I never want to GM now. You're doing such an amazing job.
I mean, it helps when you have a pocket Andre. You know what I mean?
A pocket Andre.
Yeah. I think I asked Andre on my birthday, day before my birthday, something like that.
Something like that.
I stepped out and Michaela was around, so I stepped out into the garage and I was like, Andre, I need to talk to you. I have an idea.
I think my answer was whatever it is, let's do it.
I'm just I was talking to Michaela and Teacher a little bit before, and I was like, I've got things planned for this session and I'm really excited about. And now you know the things.
Andrea's things.
It's true.
Deviled egg.
Andrea's things, or is he just planning on killing us later? I'm just asking.
I mean, none of you went for any type of instinct roll or anything, did you? So who knows? Who knows?
He's got a friendly face.
Yeah.
It's true.
And if it all goes wrong, I'm going to blame Mass.
Oh well. All right.
Just like it's just like the bear all over again. All over again.
Hey, I took care of that bear. The bear was fine.
Barely a scratch.
Andre, if you don't know the story, they encountered a bear in the woods, and Hilo put it to sleep. I believe, is that right? You put it to sleep,
Yeah.
and
We don't have to explain all.
and
the
Maz was
No,
Maz was like, I wonder if there's anything going on with this bear, and literally poked the bear,
To wake it up.
and the bear woke back up.
No.
So
Oh my god.
Yep,
That's so
and it was just me and Maz in there. Everyone else had wandered off, and it was just me and Maz.
I think what we're
the bear
forgetting-
was unhappy.
I think what we're forgetting to mention is that Svetlana saved the day and rushed in and saved you guys from the bear. So
it's true.
This is true.
Terrifyingly, yes.
That did happen. Mhm.
All right. Let's keep going. So we'll say that moment was the adventurers. As you guys get ready to execute this plan, you're all sharing stories of previous well-executed plans. With
especially the fried potatoes. Those fried potatoes, though, I'll tell you what, those were a hit.
Best plan.
Making me hungry.
Same.
I could go for some fried potatoes. Crush them.
Yeah. Crisp brown vegetable tasted good.
All right. Is everybody ready to? I mean, I'm not telling you what to do, but are we moving down the hallway, or what are we doing? What are we
Moving right along.
do
I think we're ready to go, yes.
do Yriel and I need to roll any sort of stealth if we're trying to not be seen?
How close are you following?
We're following enough to where we can still hear what's going on, or at least I am. Till I can hear what's going on, but I can't necessarily see them because I don't want anybody to see me.
Okay. Why don't we have them start moving down the hallway, assuming it's a hallway? And you all can decide when you go from there. If you would like me to move you as this group to make it easier, so you guys don't all have to coordinate moving in the same group, I can.
Yeah, I think that's a lot easier.
I think that would be for the best. Because also, if you give me control, who knows what's going to happen?
Oh, we know what's going to happen.
Bogha keeps running away from me. Here we go. All right. So, you got a door ahead of you. Do we just want to throw it open? What are we looking at here? How are we opening this door?
Bogha's gonna actually rap upon the door with the edge of Maz's sword.
Okay.
Like, open up! I have prisoners here.
Okay. You wait. Nothing happens.
I do it again, like slightly harder.
My God.
Uh-huh.
Open up! Don't keep me waiting.
You hear.
I
From-
cannot be here with my human feet anymore.
You hear from a very long way away. You know the door's open.
I have my hands full, idiot.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
I'm loving this. Not gonna lie.
Yriel's in the back, smiling proudly.
You don't hear anything for a moment, and then you hear the sound of someone wearing a considerable amount of metal trudging towards the door. You hear the sound of what you believe is trudging. And then the door opens. And you find yourself, all of you, looking directly at a guard. The guard's like, he's wearing a helmet as well, but you do see kind of cocks his head to the side when he sees such a big group of people. What's all
When you
this
say
then?
All of you. He sees me and Yriel as well. I am behind the desk. I don't know if that obscures my view at all.
We'll say for right now he sees this whole group of people. If just due to line of sight, he does not see, because that's a wall. He just barely does not see Yriel. And yeah, we'll say for a moment.
And Svetlana says she's ducking. So
Svetlana is hiding successfully.
Even though she's giant, but that's fine.
It's true. I'm like 6 foot tall.
Petite fearbog that she is.
There's just a slight glow of the her seraph light from behind the desk, and the guys. What's going on here?
Toko kind of slumps his shoulders, kind of dramatically, and oh, great, another guard. Just what I needed to brighten my day.
Maz carries herself in a way that is downtrodden, and obviously, making it appear as though she's, kind of defeated. Hanging her head and shoulders kind of slumped, forward.
Okay.
As with I guess because Bogha is directly behind her, right?
Right. Well, yeah, close enough.
Yeah.
And Hilo's just hunched, like he's tall, but he's kind of hunched over, like he's oh, so sad.
Okay, you caught this many, and the guard kind of seems to narrow focus a little bit onto Bogha.
Oh no!
And like there's an inquisitive moment, and Bogha, if you could make a presence roll with advantage. Because right now the guard is not sure if he recognizes you.
Yeah.
Can I use hold on.
It's
hold on. Oh. No, go ahead. You're good.
Yep, it's a 5 with hope.
All right. So can I use can I get use Luckbender, and I'll spend 3 hope so that Bogha can do a reroll?
That's a beautiful use of that. So while the guard is kind of scrutinizing Bogha, and right at the moment that maybe something is going to kind of dawn on him, Maz kind of shoulders her way in front in between and kind of just basically says, you going to take us back or what? Just kind of gets in the way to give Bogha another second, and then Bogha re-rolls.
Can Toko interject here as well?
What would you like to use?
Just try to act a little bit. Like, basically, I want to kind of reach out, like bend my head a little bit further towards the guard and the new guard, and say, between you and me, this one's a real stickler for the rules. Barely lets us walk 2 steps before giving us a lecture about prisoner protocol and this and that.
Okay.
You should give him a promotion or something. Real go-getter.
Okay. All right.
It's a ringing endorsement from a prisoner,
Bogha, what is the result of your roll with a extra D6 added to it?
That is a 24.
Woo! Okay.
Nice.
24 with hope or fear?
Sorry, wait, I'm not really doing that. I'm not really.
Right. Which was higher? Was your hope or your fear die higher?
They were the same.
Wait. So it's doubles.
Yes.
You were
You got a crit?
on a 12
Critmeister.
and a 12?
Okay.
Jesus.
I love the look on Michael's
So
face when he's
there
like,
were two
okay,
11s,
okay.
And then there was a 2.
Oh, gotcha.
Two
Still,
11s and a 2. Okay, so you take a
Wow.
hope, you clear and stress,
Sorry.
and the guard looks at you for an extra second, shrugs. All right, come on. Come on. Good on you. Good on you. And starts moving back down the hallway.
Finally, I tried to give you a little bit of a nudge, like, to get you to hurry up. It's not very strong. It's not a very strong nudge.
Oh my gosh.
Move
So
it faster, prisoner.
as you get to this room at the end of the hallway, Yriel and Svetlana, are you following from there?
From a distance.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
so where
they
I
are-
can
Trying to
barely see
quiet.
them.
down at the end of the hallway, we want to think of the rest of the group essentially as what they're using as a bit of like a processing desk. They're making that there's 2 guards here, which you, Svetlana and Yriel, you don't know this, so shh. But there are 2 guards here that are essentially the ones that are making sure that no one is getting into the dungeon that shouldn't be. One of them came down to open the door, and as this group of prisoners and Bogha step in, he kind of looks to the other guards sitting at the desk with him and says, "Oh, no, they're fine. They're fine." And the group of you are free. Basically, you have been given passage past this room. So the question is, are you moving past this room? And as you kind of step into the room, feel the ground above you shake again.
Mm.
And the guards kind of look up. Big sighs because they've been here.
I'm gonna Maz look towards the guards at this table and is, keeping her head kind of downward, but glancing around with just her eyes to see if there's any things peeking through their armor that might show little inklings of whether or not they are part of the jagged knife, right? Any of those little symbols or anything like that through the armor, using astute observer and using one more hope.
Okay, yeah. Instinct roll, please. Add 2 to it because of your experience.
God. 11. So it's 9 plus 2, so 11 with fear.
Okay.
That smile doesn't make me happy.
Does
As,
not.
as you are kind of looking around closely, this guard here kind of stands up from the table. What are you looking at, prisoner?
Maz, turns her head immediately downward, averting her gaze away, and says, nothing, sir, nothing. And cuts it off real short.
Okay. Guard stands up, crosses past the desk, and walks straight up to you. And reaching behind, pulls out a sword. And takes the sword and puts it below your chin and lifts your head back up. And says, "I asked you a question, prisoner."
Maz.
Insubordination, I see. I will take these prisoners to be dealt with. They are bound for the solitary.
Maz says, I meant no offense, sir.
They must be separated.
I apologize, as Bogha is speaking over top of her.
And the guard, even through like the slits in the helmet, I guess, the guard says, "You were looking for something. Can you tell me what it was?" And then to emphasize the point a little bit, the guard still kind of like pokes you just barely with the sword.
With the literal point.
Right, yes. To emphasize the point. Nice.
I was but admiring your fine weapons that you hold on your person, and I apologize and I meant no offense, but that is a fine sword, sir.
Can Toko help interject here as well?
Hilo tries to distract him too,
Okay.
like, with a muttered, but admiring.
Question
Uh-huh.
for the GM.
Okay.
The guard that's down there, he still has his cloak on that has the jagged knife cloak
The guy on the ground right
symbol
here?
on it. Yeah.
Correct, yes.
He is obviously smaller than Svetlana, but could I like put that on as like just like a top? Like it's supposed to be like a dress, but it actually is like a
So, like,
crop top
wearing
or something.
it like a
on me.
halter top? Okay.
Yeah. Could
I was just about to actually DM Michaela outside the game and suggest could we like whilst they have the guards' attention, could we just march in there like we know what we're doing and the herald sent us, and like everybody out of the way, we're here to take care of whatever.
That's what I was thinking. I could wear that thing, and then immediately, if they don't stop us and I'm wearing that, then we'll know that the guard is like part of the jagged knife.
Okay.
That was my thought. But I guess maybe you should wear it because you're actually the size more
I'm
like the
3
size.
feet tall.
Yeah, well, I'm like 6 foot tall, so I feel
It's
like
gonna be dragging.
it's either like dragging or like a halter top.
I mean, crop tops are really in right now. I mean, take your pick.
I think crop top is what I meant for sure. I think I said halter top. I'm not sure what the difference is, but whatever.
I'll put it on as a crop top.
Okay.
And Yriel and I will be like discussing this like in whispered tones.
Okay.
And we'll be like, yeah, let's go. Like we're just part of this, and we'll walk authoritatively, just like to the side of everybody. Man, I wish I was Hilo though with the performance, because I'm not very good at that. We'll see.
All right. So far we have performance attempts from Maz trying to pretend she wasn't looking for anything. Hilo making a butt joke, I believe.
I'm making a butt joke in support of Maz.
A supportive butt joke. Yes. Supportive butt. Okay. Bogha is attempting to be a guard, and Svetlana is attempting to be jagged knife.
And Toko also kind of tries to interject. Toko says, "Hey, we're all yours now. Just make sure, like, as he nudges his head back to the guard, just make sure to tell him where we're going, because I think he lost the map about like 5 minutes ago."
Why did this door close again? Every time someone goes through the door, it closes again?
That's dorky.
Here, I'll pull. Are you bringing Pazu through? Okay. So,
yes.
All right, we are going to take advantage of the infamous Daggerheart group action roll, because all of you are attempting to do something different at this point.
We are attempting to make chaos. I think it's going well.
So if you remember how group action rolls work, everybody rolls their 2d12s. You choose a leader. This is a performance roll, by the way. I'm sorry, a presence roll. So you choose a leader for this roll, and the group does. And then we basically see if you succeed or fail based on what everybody's rolls are. So,
good Lord.
I would nominate Hilo at the Bard for performance as the leader.
That's so silly.
I'm actually sweating right now. I'm a little stressed out.
No, this is a perfect plan. Perfect plans. This is a perfect plans.
Nothing can go wrong here. Absolutely nothing.
So I already rolled, and it's pretty good, but I can't necessarily tell people that.
Right, just to be sure, before we go...
I would say probably I would have gone with Hilo before I had known that I had rolled really good.
Okay.
I was going to say perhaps me as the point of kind of tension of the entire group, if I was going to be fair, since there's literally a broadsword to my face.
Yeah. I was going to say, I would have said, if he's the one that instigated a lot of the stuff here and we're supporting him on that. So,
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so
fair.
Maz is the leader?
Yeah.
So not the supportive butt.
Okay, not the supportive butt.
I mean, I would go with it either way, but you know.
Okay. All right. Maz, what is your role for performance?
I didn't tell everybody, but it's not great.
Or presence. I'm sorry. It's presence.
So it's 13 with fear. So it's actually 14 because I have +1 on presence. So it's 14 with fear.
Okay.
And then we all also roll to support him? Or
You
how does that
all
work?
also roll. Yes, correct. So
We roll the d12s.
2d12s and just give me the result. You don't need to tell me hope or fear for all of this.
Hope.
Critical
Nor.
success.
13.
12.
So I heard a 13, a 12. What was yours, Michaela?
Critical
You
success.
got a crit.
2 6s.
I think you need to check your dice.
I don't know if it counts. One of them did roll outside of the hexagon, but it stayed
fine.
down on a
That's
6.
fine.
Okay.
Okay. So we got a 13, a 12, 14 with fear. Was that yours, Maz?
Mine was 14 with fear.
Okay.
And I got a 7, so I'm glad y'all didn't rely on me.
Okay.
I'm rolling in here with a super helpful 3.
Ooh.
Okay, so I little like out of the game situation. You spend a lot of time determining what the difficulty is of like rolls. Other people who've GM'd can relate. You decide like what you have to try to clear to succeed. I was thinking this would be fairly difficult, and you guys barely cleared easy. So
Oh.
The bad news is, with everything that's going on, Svetlana marching up in a jagged knife, cloak, aka crop top, Bogha, basically drawing some eyes because I guess Bogha didn't really do anything. Bogha was still okay, but it's all too much, and this guard actually takes a step back, sword raised, and seeing this, the second guard stands from behind the desk, raises his sword as well, and one of them says, "I don't know what's going on here, but I do know that this is as far as you go."
But we just starts cursing under her breath.
Is this not the place to go for the jagged knife? I had some teammates over there. They told me to come down here. They said you needed more manpower or something. I can leave.
This is the place to go for the jagged knife. And
And as soon as he says that, I take out my axe and I throw it.
okay.
Of course. I knew it.
I just
I was
needed-
waiting for it.
I just needed confirmation that they were bad guys and not the good guys. So
Okay. That's pretty good.
that was
All right.
all I was waiting on.
Are you going for this guy?
I actually am going to use my spirit weapon it's going to like release and try to hit both of them because they're,
Okay.
well, essentially anyone within a close range.
You can hit. You
Can
can
be
hit both of
attacked.
the guards.
Okay. So I'm going to mark a stress, but instead of marking a stress, I'm going to roll a d6 because I have natural calm to see. Oh, and I got a 6, so I don't mark a stress.
Oh my goodness.
So I am going to try to attack both of them.
Okay.
And for that, do I use the 2d12s or do I use a d20?
Always do d12s. I'm basically the only one who I think rolls a d20 unless something specifically tells you.
Oh, wait, no. Oh, that's for attack. Sorry. Okay.
Yes, you're good.
So 17 with hope. Do I add to that my strength modifier or that's only on the attack?
Yeah, you sure would. You sure would.
So 20 with hope.
Okay.
Take
a hope.
And
My goodness.
that's
I think that hits. I'm just throwing
2d10
that out.
plus 4. I gotta find my D10.
Okay.
I
Okay,
don't know where my D10 is.
It's fine. We'll just assume they're critical.
Yeah. I think it's this one. So 8 plus 5. So 13 plus 4. So 17 damage.
Okay. Svetlana, not wasting any more time, steps into the room and her axe begins to glow with what's the light of
Core.
Okay, thank you. My brain was in Vox Machina mode and I was like, I know it's not the Everlight. Begins to glow with the light of core, and the entire room for a moment is so blindingly bright that all the rest of you kind of have to close your eyes. And when you open them, all you see is an axe ricocheting off one guard, hitting another guard, slamming them both into walls. You said 17?
Oh my god.
Okay. Slamming them both into walls. And after that, there is a brief moment of silence. And then the walls and the ground begin to shake again. And suddenly, from the ceiling, rocks start to pour down, caving in to the room. And what happens is the rocks tumble so quickly and so fast that you are separated from Toko.
Oh no.
As the rocks fall, Toko releases his hand and kind of jumps to kind of safety. Once kind of the dust settles a little bit, you hear kind of Toko on the other side. Like, oh, of course, there's a fucking cave in. This thing just keeps getting better and better. He then kind of yells through the debris, "Hey, you guys still alive over there? Or am I talking to a pile of rocks right now?"
We are still alive.
Okay.
But the sky is just slightly melting at this point.
You did ask me to join you, right?
Here, right?
Yes.
I guess I'm making a dramatic exit instead. Don't worry, I'll catch up. Maybe clear a few more traps, take out a few more bad guys while you're stuck playing hide and seek with rocks. No big deal. Just try not to die before I find another way around. Yeah, I'd hate to miss the grand finale.
Okay. Be safe.
All right, catch you in a minute.
There she flows.
It's so good.
Oh, so good.
I love it so
Guys,
much.
so-
I'm just glad he could make an appearance.
Nice.
Hey!
Okay, so a little behind the scenes. After we planned all this, Andre was like, hey, I have Thanksgiving that starts at 1 p.m. We got to figure something out. So, hey, cave in! A little practical cave in.
Yay, cave in.
It's just so nice that you guys set up a reason that the cave in would happen.
And you're welcome.
Boy.
Well played.
Boy,
Well played,
if there
sir.
was
Well played.
if there was no violence there, I was gonna have a time ahead of me. Andre and I've been texting. He's like, I gotta get going, and I'm like, I know.
Cow person.
Oh man. Okay. Behind a pile of rubble, Toko disappears. You don't know exactly where he goes. You don't know exactly if he's safe, but you do hear him kind of rustling around, maybe searching for holes in the walls, that sort of thing, as a method of meeting up with you later.
Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? Monkey Toko?
Amazing.
Meanwhile, the rest of you are in a tight corridor with a couple of injured guards who don't get to go now because Svetlana had an incredible roll. So,
Are they both dead?
No.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
So
Okay,
so
can
so-
I go ahead, Mass?
no. Where do I stand right now? Because I had a knife to my face, or a sword to my face.
Before combat started, this guard took a step back to kind of like, he's got a pretty long sword, like he's got a broadsword, right? So like getting close is more of a threatening thing, but actually fighting, like you're not going to do a lot of like swording from a half.
No.
He's just gonna saw you.
Yep, just like that.
So
Not very good.
right, he took a step back to try to give himself the space he would need to slash at you with a sword if necessary. Also, once again, feel free to imagine the room bigger than the map in Roll20 shows. It's just,
Okay.
I don't have the ability to make really cool maps, and I figure having maps that at least give you some kind of cool ambiance was better than just having me draw just lines, you know? So.
Yes. So I was kind of trailing behind,
Mhm.
and Svetlana charged in. I have a deft maneuvers to
Mhm.
mark stress to move anywhere without agility. Is that? I don't know how far we are. Do I just like march up, or is it?
Yeah, I mean, as long as you describe a cool way to maneuver past the people in the doorway, like if there's a jump or a slide or I don't know, just something,
Sure.
whatever works. As long as you do that, mark a stress and move where you need to.
Okay, mark stress. Yeah. So Yriel and Pazu move forward at a good speed. Maybe not quite a sprint, but we want to get up there in a hurry so that as we approach, Pazu can leap
Mm-hmm.
over the crowd, which sort of creates a diversion,
Mhm.
and Yriel rolls under their legs,
I love
ends
it.
up on the other side next to Maz, and hands her back her sword. Hands is, like I just open my hand and let go, knowing that she'll catch it and be ready to rumble.
Sounds
Now
good.
Maz reaches out that hand, and as a pair of partners who have danced together for years, picks it up with effortless ease
Love it.
and brings it at the ready to start fighting with one short sword.
Bogha is still holding the other, just for.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Just want to make sure we're all on the same page about where things were. Object permanence and all. All right. I mean, it's still all of your turn, so whatever you want to do.
How close are these guards to me? Would you class them as very close?
I think you're small. You could get into kind of like, again, don't feel confined by the area of the map necessarily, but if you could like get into here, like I would consider it close, but also I'd say right now you are not very close. You are more like close. If you need to be very close, I'd think you'd have to move up a little bit.
Cool.
Can I ask a GM related question? I was just reading and it was saying that my ability of body basher
Mhm.
is when I attack with a melee weapon, I always add my strength trait to my damage total.
Okay.
And I think I did that backwards last time. I think I added the strength trait to the attack roll
In that
instead
case-
of the damage.
In that case,
roll.
you'd add it to both.
So it should have been 20 damage.
Okay.
And just to be clear, whenever I do attack two people, do I
Mhm.
use the same roll for both of them? Or should I roll twice?
I would say the same roll.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're okay. It's a good question. My understanding would be, I mean, it's tough because where is your throw your weapon thing? I'm on
It's
Maz.
under the
Jeez.
Divine Wielder subclass, the spirit weapon.
Okay.
So I do have +3 to attack roll. So that's
Yes,
what
yes.
that was.
Mhm.
And then my body basher ability is on a melee attack. I add my strength trait to my damage.
Mm-hmm.
So that was +3 for damage. So it's a separate thing, but it's
Right.
still +3 either way. She might be a little OP.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Okay.
Okay.
The only thing that gives me pause, I guess, is if you're throwing your melee weapon, is it still a melee?
It says when you
Yeah.
have a melee weapon equipped, it can fly from your hand.
Turn to you. You can mark a stress. Yeah, that's fair.
And it just says an attack with a melee weapon, not necessarily a melee attack.
Yeah.
So.
You're correct. Go ahead. All right, Bogha, you are going to attempt to do something, I think. Maybe.
Yes, I'm actually gonna kind of, even after being startled by that cave in,
Mm-hmm.
I have enough wits about me to move through people's legs
I love
a little bit.
Uh-huh. You are now very much within close range.
I'm going to use my Shadowbind spell,
Ooh, okay.
which is makes enemies very close range pinned
Mm-hmm.
or restrained.
Okay.
I forget, are these dice added? I've forgotten how to play this game.
D12, 2d12s plus 2 for instinct is your spell roll, I believe.
Yeah. Cool. So that's a 14 with fear.
Okay. And could you, if you want to, there's no pressure on this, but what does Bogha do to cast this spell? Like what will people around you see? Is it hand gestures? Is it silent meditation? Just to give it some flair, you know?
It's like she kind of gathers like a little bit of weight to her hand.
Mm-hmm.
She just kind of flings it towards the enemy.
Okay. I love it. Okay. So Bogha steps into the room and casts Shadowbind. And
it's gonna be like a little like spray of like you have the misters, like the misting balls.
Okay.
It's gonna be like that because it's water elemental spell.
Okay. I love it. I love it. So with that action, both guards kind of look down behind them as much as their armor will allow. And you guys might not see it, but essentially they are both pinned in spot to where they are, held in place by their shadows from the torchlight that is in the room. So give me just 1 second. Sorry, I'm trying to... I keep mixing up the fear versus action tokens economy that we have because most of our combat so far have just been you guys flying in, annihilating everything and moving on with your lives. No, it's okay. It's okay.
I mean, actually, it's only one of us who's doing that, just to be clear.
Hey.
And it's, yep. It's just one angry priestess, I should say, right? Or a follower, right?
I am going to spend a fear to gain 2 action tokens. Also, was that the end of what you wanted to do, Bogha? I don't want to take this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just wanted to check. The guard that is closest to Bogha is going to notice that they are pinned in place and is going to attempt to return the favor using detain. So the guard will essentially not step forward, but because you are very close, and will attempt to grab you and hold you in place the way he is held in place. And if he holds on, then you're both held by his shadow, I guess. So what that is going to be is I am going to roll this dice. And because the guard is restrained in place, he miscalculates the amount that he is able to move. He reaches for you and ends up falling straight in front of you, still pinned completely in place, but now on the ground. Now on the ground.
No.
The other guard is going to touch their chest and look down. There might still be a little bit of light from Svetlana's axe, and going to swing at Svetlana.
Am I right near Svetlana?
Yeah, close
How
enough.
close?
Yeah, close enough. Yep.
Very close.
Close enough for government work.
I resemble that remark.
Oh, sorry.
Me too.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
That was the sound of teacher thinking.
It was.
I loved
Didn't
it.
go anywhere. It was an ability I thought I had picked up, but I don't think I chose to actually go for it. I was just entertaining.
I mean,
that
honestly,
ability.
most of my thoughts are the same place. They're there.
Yep.
They don't really go anywhere. I get it. Okay, so the sword is going to lash out at Svetlana, and that is a 12 to hit. 12 to hit against Svetlana's 7 evasion. Is that correct?
That hits, but I will use one of my prayer dice. I will say,
Mhm.
Core, help me,
Mhm.
with this. So she'll use her prayer dice to reduce the incoming damage by 4, which reduces it to 8 to the minor damage threshold.
That was just a hit. I still got to roll for damage. I still got to roll for damage.
It hits.
Okay. All right. That is, this guard has a longsword, which is not a lot of damage, but we'll make it work. Great. Incredible. That would have been 7 damage, which is
minor.
below your minor. So you don't take any, I
Oh.
think. Correct, right?
Is that how that goes?
I think if it's below your minor threshold.
It would have to hit 8 to
I'm
do a
pretty
1
do
HP.
damage. Did you damage?
They changed that recently. Does anybody remember correctly if I'm thinking of the...
So hold on. So what's your minor damage threshold?
The damage threshold indicates how much damage you can endure before marking a hit point. So that makes me think that I can endure 7 damage without marking a hit point.
Is your minor
My minor is 8.
If your minor is 8 and they do 7 damage, it looks like according to this calculator, you should mark 1 hit point.
Oh,
Yeah,
Or take it.
that's why I'm getting it as well.
Right.
Anywhere 8, it's 1 hit. Anyway, from 8 to your second
Is
2. And
yeah,
anyway,
you're right. I don't know where my math went. You are correct. Yes.
Okay.
So you would mark a single hit point unless you want to reduce it with armor, but you would have to reduce it with 2 armor slots, it looks like, since your armor is 4.
Okay. Done.
Okay.
I took 1 HP.
And the guard does not move because he can't. And the play goes back to you, players, any of you.
Maz looks towards Bogha and then Bogha, sword, and holds out her hand for Bogha to kind of toss the sword over across, because I mean we're pretty close.
Yeah.
But toss it towards Maz's open palm.
Okay. Maz, could
I
you...
think that's going to be a strength roll.
No, I would say I mean, with the distance you are, Bogha, I don't think it's difficult to pass it along. But Maz, could you give me an agility roll just to make sure you catch it?
I've got an agility roll, you said?
Yes, please.
So I got 21 with hope. I think it might work.
Yeah, you catch it and you
Catch
find
it deftly.
You
slide
find
it right in,
you find
and I'm ready to go.
you find another sword in the process of catching it with that roll.
Yeah, somehow I got 3.
Yes. Anyways, no, you catch it. You're good.
It's in midair.
You are now
Whoa.
wielding both of your swords again. The guards that are, let's be honest, the guards that are here, or I guess the bandits, depending on how you interpret what their role is, the eyes that you can see through their little helmets look like they have some regrets. Pinned in place, both took massive damage from an axe that flew towards them with righteous fury. And now they see people just tossing swords back and forth to each other.
So then as Maz catches the sword, she flaps her wings slightly to gain some extra height, even though she's not that tall, and then brings them down, kind of flips them around in her grip, so they're both facing downward to get, I guess, the guard... kind of go over towards the guard that is... Well, I guess, is this guy over here?
Mm-hmm.
You see him?
Mm-hmm.
Is he too far away for me to try to leap over little Bogha and kind of
No,
go for a downward slash?
Honestly, pretty easy to do.
Exactly what's happening right now.
Heyo.
Exactly where it's happening.
I resemble this remark.
and goes for the downward slash right on top of that guard to try to get in between, because there's the helmet and the armor, right?
Mhm.
Those spots kind of open right around the
going.
neck area.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and make a attack roll. I believe you roll with agility.
So it's going to be a 13 plus 3, so 16 with fear.
One more. You actually, because of your short sword, you roll with another +1. So it's whatever.
17 with fear.
Doesn't matter. But yeah, I just want to make sure. Rolling with the right numbers. Okay. 17 with fear.
Because, it says +2. My short sword says +4 agility and +3 agility.
Mm-hmm.
And then it says +1 reliable
mm-hmm.
on top of all that. So, I'm guessing it hits.
Yes. So essentially what you're looking at is when you roll to attack with your primary weapon, you are rolling with +4 to agility. If you are rolling for your secondary weapon, then you're going to roll with +3. So if it's like a slash type thing,
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So you are leaping down, stabbing with your short swords, but you rolled 17 with fear. So go ahead and make your damage roll, which is 2d8 +4, it looks like.
So 15 plus 4, so 19.
Okay.
19.
Yeah, boy.
So Maz leaps into the air, catches the sword, rotates it down. Tell me how you want to kill this guard.
Yes.
Really just by driving it directly down to that little gap, really nailing the mark, and then kind of like digging it in, and as it comes down, just sort of pulling it towards Maz as she lowers herself towards the ground. So, the armor is probably going to keep it exactly in place, but you can kind of just feel the bits on the inside, the fleshy bits, sort of like moving around with the sword. Really, like there's actually some resistance as it comes down because it's hitting all the organs and everything like that as Maz's feet touch the ground.
Oh, gross.
Somewhere Toko reevaluates joining your party from the other side of the rubble. No, you have successfully killed this guard. Now let me tell you a little bit about their backstory and the family that they've left behind.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Dark.
You guys wanted to meet Amara's parents, right? No, just kidding. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, I
I'm just
didn't
kidding.
even think about that.
Just
That's okay, because if they're part of this cult, they deserved it. It's
Just kidding. Anyways, you rolled with fear, however, and
As Maz lands, the toe just kind of like flicks up, and I feel that spot of pain, and the Maz kind of like stumbles, and the toe is actually just broken even more.
oh, jeez, the classic toe.
Yeah.
Okay, so man, I feel like the hardest part about being a GM is the way like these action tracker and everything works. So I am going to let me double check I'm doing this right. I am going to spend a fear, get 2 action tokens, and I'm going to use one of those tokens to clear restraint
Oh, no.
on the remaining guard, and he is going to run. He's running down this way, calling out, "They're coming! They're coming! Stop them!" And he disappears around the corner.
Can we chase him?
You certainly can.
I should have known she was going to say that. I should have known.
I mean, Svetlana will try to chase him.
Okay.
And as she can, she will try to throw her, like if she can't reach him, she will try to throw her weapon so that he cannot reach other people.
Okay, so you are, he is running. He is running for his life, screaming for help, and you are chucking an axe at him?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like spinning in the air.
Okay.
We just wanted to ask you a question.
Yes. Okay, that's a 13 with fear.
Okay. Roll for damage.
That's a 10. That's a 4. So 14 plus 4.
Let me
is
stop you there. How do you
18
want to
plus
kill him?
3.
let me go ahead and stop you.
21.
21. All right, I'm gonna make some notes about me tuning these characters to be ready for you guys. Okay, got it. Go
I
ahead.
mean, I think it's because she's level 2 now. She does 2d10 plus 4 on every attack. So,
okay. So
Usually scaling for Svetlana.
yeah, I don't have to scale them for everybody. Just the
Yeah, it's the Svetlana modifier.
yeah.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, so yeah, my axe is like spinning and spinning and spinning. It chops his head off and then spins and spins and spins and comes back. And then he just he stands there for a second with his head falling off and then he just falls forward.
This is going to make a great story.
Michael's face. The gruesome death
Michael,
described by Michaela.
Did you know who you were married to? I just want to
I
put it out there for everybody.
I knew.
A little
I knew.
meta, but
I knew. All right, so the guard
Rohit is now in the corner, terrified.
the guard falls to the ground. His head rolls two spaces ahead of him.
His head
And
in the game.
as you do that, from around the corner,
Oh no.
2 archers step out.
No.
All the way down the long hallway. Both of them see only you, Svetlana, unfortunately, and fire.
You.
Okay.
Okay, is this GM turn or are we...
Yes, she rolled with fear,
Okay.
so this is GM.
Okay.
This is GM time. I need to make sure I'm spending.
Question, and you
Yes.
can totally say no to this,
Okay.
but could I use my experience of I burn with the light of 1,000 suns to become so bright that it temporarily blinds them?
I feel like they're pretty far away.
That is
Yeah,
true.
I don't think that one's going to work in this case,
Okay.
unfortunately. I like
No
it.
problem.
I like it, but your experiences typically have to be added to your rolls, and they're
Okay,
rolling
not
right
other
now.
people's rolls. Okay,
Yeah.
good to know.
So, first one rolled.
Those guys are pretty far.
They're archers. They are able to fire from far distances. So, I don't know if this is actually far or very far or whatever. I believe, so the first one, this guy here, he has rolled a 16 to hit.
That hits.
So, he is going to mark a stress to activate Hobbling Shot to deal 2d8 plus 5 physical damage and give the target disadvantage on all agility rolls until they clear at least 1 marked HP.
Until they clear 1 marked HP.
Yes.
So until a short rest.
Something like that, yeah. So just disadvantage on agility rolls. So he is rolling. That is 17 damage, which I believe puts it just below your severe damage threshold.
Yes, that's major. So the rule for armor slots is how many armor slots take down the damage? Does it take it down 1-to-1? Like 1 armor slot is
No,
1
whatever your armor rating is, your armor's 4. So every armor slot takes it down 4.
is 4. Okay.
Yes.
So 17. So minus, I would have to.
You have to use 3 to get it below minor, it looks like.
I guess, yeah, I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay. So the arrow flies through the air. This is a person who has been trained to use arrows in this fashion to just take people out from far ranges. You manage to slightly deflect it with your shield, but it bounces off your shield and goes straight into your knee. You fall over for a second, but regain your footing. And then the other archer just fires another arrow and it goes flying past you. Maybe as you are, they're both firing at the same time. So the one that staggers you means the other arrow just goes straight over your head. And lodges into the wall right next to Yriel with a boing, that sort of thing.
So does
Good
that
thing
mean
I'm short.
his roll was less than 7 then?
Yeah, he rolled very low.
Oh, okay. Well, that sucks because I was going to use an agility roll the next
Oh,
round. So actually, it's probably good because
it is
she's done a lot.
player turn. So whatever you guys.
Okay. I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
I have a plan. Okay. I'm gonna do that deft maneuvers again
Okay.
to move into melee range
Mm-hmm.
with a stress. Are they within far range?
You can get to them for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get to them.
Mark a stress. And I'm moving into melee range. And then I want Pazu to like bound down the hall next to me.
Okay.
Is that okay? Do I need to?
No, I think that's good.
Is that like a companion has a spellcast roll? I'm not sure when I use that.
Sorry, companion has a spellcast roll.
Well,
you make a spellcast.
You make a spellcast roll to connect with your companion.
Oh, okay. So in your case,
is he? I want him to attack when we get there, but do I cast now or then?
I would say it seems silly to make you roll to have your, like, it's a cat. You're gonna roll to make it move. Like it. I think the cat moves with you.
Okay. I'm gonna attack the one that's in front of me.
Okay, this one. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so I have strategic approach. After a long rest, I have 1 token.
Mm-hmm.
When you move into melee range of an enemy and make an attack roll against them, you can spend the token. Do I have to determine now what that is, or do I do? Do I roll, or do I say I want it with advantage?
That's a good question. I would say you make the attack roll and then you make the decision based on how it's worded on the card. Because it says when you move into melee range and make an attack roll, you may spend 1 token to choose an option. So the way it's worded, it seems like you spend after.
Okay. Well, that is a 21 with hope for my attack roll.
Pretty solid.
I feel like
you chose not to go with advantage. Yeah.
Not to go with advantage. So then I will roll for damage with the broadsword.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So 3d8 in this case.
Yes.
Okay.
3. I don't have that many of those. Okay, there's 6, 4 is 10, and 4 more. 14 is the damage.
Okay.
And then I'm confused. +4. It says +4 agility on my broadsword. Is that something that I add?
That's for hitting. So if you're attacking, you're adding +4 to your hit roll, but you didn't even seemingly need that.
Okay, yeah, I didn't need that.
Yeah.
It's fine. Okay, so it's 14 on damage.
Okay. You sprint down the hallway so fast. Svetlana is still kind of leaning over, clutching the injured knee a little bit, and whoosh, Yriel is just gone with Pazu right behind. And you are so fast that the archer doesn't have time to notch another arrow, and you get him straight in the chest with the sword and slash a giant wound open, and he is bleeding and injured, but still standing.
Okay, then I would like Pazu to attack.
Okay. Same guy?
Is that... Yes, same guy. Is that the spellcast roll?
Yes. Are you going to do claws, or are you doing... Because I see...
Claws.
Yeah, okay. Yep. So roll your 2d12, add +3 for...
Okay. That's not d12s. Those were d8s. Oh dear. Okay. That is 15 with fear for the spellcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
15 is... That's still a hit. So
Okay.
2d.
And then I do 2d6
Mhm.
for Pazu damage, right?
Correct.
Thank goodness I've got all of those. Okay, that's 8. Doubles don't count here, right?
No, not on d6s. Okay, well, how would you like to finish off the archer that you have approached?
Pazu pounces onto the archer with, he's small but mighty, and it knocks the archer down to the ground, and he's dead by the time he hits the ground.
Wonderful, except for the archer, I guess. So you rolled with fear, and that will mean that actually I didn't do that. The other archer will take a step back from you. I guess 2 steps back, notch another arrow, and attempt to fire an arrow at Pazu. Going to aim for Pazu. And that is a 20 to hit.
Okay, Pazu has 10 evasion, so that's a hit.
So
right?
that would be a hit, yes. And not going to do hobbling shot this time, like against
Thanks.
Svetlana, but is going to... Okay, 1d. That is 15 damage to Pazu.
That is just rude.
That is 15 damage.
Okay,
I can reduce that with my
once per
paradise.
short rest, mark as stress to make an adversary re-roll an attack against you or an ally within very close range. But hold on.
Mm-hmm.
That may not be worth it. I think if Pazu takes damage, Pazu just takes stress. Is that correct?
Correct.
He doesn't have armor or any of that kind of stuff.
He does not have hit points or anything. It's just...
Yeah.
We are not actually harming animals. Basically, they just get so stressed that they leave combat for a while.
Okay. Yeah, Pazu is annoyed and takes a stress.
Okay.
Should I reduce the damage at all? Will that help?
No. It's either it takes damage or it doesn't.
Okay.
So,
it's like a... Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And the archer is going to use another of my action tokens and duck out of sight around this corner.
Meanwhile, Maz has no idea what's happening right now. Way far around the corner. No idea what combat is happening.
So for a moment, it is quiet.
Can Svetlana, who's next to one of the guards that's down, just take a moment to look to make sure that he has that like dagger, jagged knife
I was
symbol
also worried about this.
on his clothing?
Yeah. I mean,
underneath the armor.
with enough time, easy enough to do. He also appears to be wearing the cloak of jagged knife underneath the armor.
I was pretty sure, but you know.
Oh, good. Since they just opened fire on random people. Not even a halt who goes there.
I mean, I think it was mainly the guard running down the hallway screaming help and the decapitation of said guard that probably...
No. I'm sticking with my story. Real guards would have said, they're trained. Drop your weapons before, or I'll shoot. Right? No.
All right. What do you want to do now?
I mean, Maz looks over towards Bogha, trying to make eye contact, and then kind of glances then over towards the door that everybody else has now run into, not really knowing what's going on, and kind of motioning and gesturing towards the door, and then waits to see if Bogha confirms kind of the indication that we should be moving into this room.
Bogha's just sitting there, like with terror in her eyes, like seeing what's happening down this corridor. It's just like,
Is the arrow that originally went boing, boing, boing in this room that Maz is in?
Yeah, it's like right here in the wall.
Okay, so Maz runs kind of over towards that arrow, kind of pulls it out, or tries to pull it out, I should say.
Okay.
Of the wall. Is she successful, or do we need a roll?
Give me a strength roll.
A 7 plus 2, so a 9 with hope.
Okay. Well, take a hope. You pull the arrow, save for the arrowhead out of the wall.
Okay.
So you just basically have the shaft and the, what is it, fletchling? Fletching? I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, like the little, like,
Right.
yeah, like the
Flashing, yeah.
Yeah, fletching. There you go.
And then Maz uses that to point towards the door and then walks her way over towards the door with the slightly disassembled arrow in hand.
Okay.
And kind of indicates to Bogha to follow her along into the room. And as she walks in, sees that would be Svetlana, right?
Mhm.
As she walks in and then points towards Svetlana and says, well, looks like you did it again. And asks Svetlana, where to next?
Well, I think we must keep going forward. There's another archer around the bend. He ran away when we killed his partner, so just be wary of him. And he has these interesting arrows that, man, just really get right in there. I feel like I can't go as fast as I normally would.
Will you be able to move forward?
Yes, and she pulls the arrow out.
Oh.
And she wraps her knee with some, she just has some basic equipment with her, so I don't know if she uses rope or what, but she wraps it around her knee to kind of stem the bleeding or staunch the bleeding.
Okay.
And she's like, let's go. Let's keep going.
And just a reminder, you have a disadvantage on agility rolls until you clear a hit point in any fashion. You can use potions or spells or...
That's a good point.
And then Maz takes the broken arrow, throws it onto the ground. Not quietly, just throws it.
The arrow
clink,
clatters
clink, 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 clink,
successfully.
Yep, clink, 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 clink. And then looks backwards to confirm whether or not Bogha is now following along.
Okay.
And actually, now that you
Bogha is just at a distance.
she will use mending touch. Svetlana will.
Okay.
And take a moment to just channel some heat into her hands and start healing her knee. She'll spend 2 hope to heal a hit point.
Okay.
So that
you all have tons of hope. So feel free to spend it as necessary.
So she has 1 HP marked now instead of 2, and she no longer has to do disadvantage on agility. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And then Maz looks towards Svetlana and says, you are indeed blessed to be able to carry such a wondrous ability, and it looks like you are much better with your leg rather looks much better.
Thank you. It is not it is core, but I appreciate it nonetheless. And she would immediately hop up and start going forward to catch up with the others.
Okay. And then Maz flaps her wings slightly to get a bit of speed and continues to walk further down the hall while glancing backwards towards Bogha, just to make sure Bogha is also following along.
Bogha's just trying to step over the body parts. He doesn't want to touch any of it. Right.
Well, that didn't quite go to plan. Maz says towards sort of the whole group towards the end of the hallway.
No, it did not. But we must keep trudging forward. Yriel, do you want the lead?
I can. We just step past Pazu there. Just see if we can see anything around the next bend.
As you turn the corner, you find yourself at another door. Doesn't really take a roll to determine this, but you will find that the door is locked.
Door is locked. Yriel tries the door and calls back over her shoulder. There's a door here, it's locked.
Bogha, I gave you the key earlier. Can you try that in this door and see that if it works?
Okay. It just kind of slaps the feet along because that disguise has gone. No more guard. Just kind of melted off. Just kind of gives fishes around in her pockets, pulls the key out, and just kind of tries getting it into the hole with the kind of shaky hands.
Okay. After a moment,
And then,
the door unlocks.
woo,
Can't believe you guys found that key. Ridiculous.
a door.
Is the door open or just unlocked?
Door's unlocked.
Maz pushes her way, not pushes, but kind of like actually moves towards the front of the group, kind of indicating that she would, and says as she walks towards the door, please allow me to walk through this one to spare all of you who have gone forward, and because this is a dangerous place.
Okay, so you're opening the door?
Yeah, Maz opens the door with caution.
Okay. As you open the door, you find yourself face to face with two more guards with swords and the archer who had just run away from you.
All right then. So yeah, Maz flaps her wings to, immediately just kind of jump forward and draws both of her short swords as her feet land towards the ground, wincing as that toe also makes a hit and still causes her pain, and asks them, because we're down here looking for the jagged knife, and she says, who can tell me about these explosions, but drawing her short swords to try to intimidate the guards a bit, and kind of then gesturing also backwards towards the open door, where obviously we can see the terrifying and short Bogha just on the other side of the door. And I'm not sure if they can see, any of the other party members.
Okay, so you're attempting to intimidate the guards. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That is going to be a presence roll for you.
I've got a 10 plus 1, so it's an 11 with fear.
11 with fear. All right. You pull the swords out and you're holding them to both of the guards that you are kind of like stepped up to. You attempt to kind of make yourself look bigger, taller, more intimidating. Unfortunately, they do not respond to your intimidation. And both of them are going to swing at you with their long swords. Both of them are going to attempt to. They just kind of. They've seen scarier things than you. They're jagged knife.
Than a 5-foot fairy with wings.
Yes,
Yeah,
they've seen scarier things than you, and in each turn they are going to both swing at you. So the first guard, the closest one to you, is going to swing his longsword, and that is a 16 to hit.
So it's a hit.
Okay, so that's a 16 to hit, and that is 10 damage that the first guard does to you.
Okay. So I'll mark, what is it, 2 HP then? Or no, because I have to do my armor, right?
I also can use my prayer points to reduce by 2, so it would only be 8, which is your minor threshold, I believe.
8 still means it's major damage.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I will do -4. I have 4, 4, and 2, so I can use one of my 4.
Okay.
To reduce it to sorry, what did you say?
It was
The
10,
damage
so 4
is
would
10,
reduce it
so
to 6.
Yeah.
So I'd mark 1 HP.
You mark 1
Yes.
HP unless you use an armor slot, and then you'd mark 0. It's up to you.
No, I'd mark 1 HP. And I rolled a D6 for vengeance, and I did get a 5, so I deal a hit point back.
Okay. So you deal an hit point back. Okay, got it. That's cool. Not for the guard, but
Not for the guard. So as the slash, I guess, comes across, Maz, takes a hit towards the side, is clearly, wounded, and then as that happens, she takes one of her swords and, takes a slash at the side of the guard, making, contact with, the arm and towards the side.
sounds good. The other guard, seeing what just happened, is going to change tactics and instead is going to attempt to detain you. So basically, going
Everyone
to
hugs
kind
Maz,
of
is what
reach
I
to
hear.
try to grab you, almost get you in like a headlock, but also still holding his sword, and is going to attempt to detain
Can
you.
I mark a stress and fly?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So as Maz sees this start to happen, she flaps her wings to gain some air on the guard, anticipating the attack.
Okay.
I marked a stress.
Sounds good. And what's that do? That adds
+2.
+2 to your evasion?
Oh, sorry, wait. Mark a stress before your adversary's attack roll to increase your evasion by +2.
Okay.
So my evasion would be 10.
Okay. The guard is apparently not very familiar with fairies and reaches towards you and lunges straight past you and completely misses. Now I'm going to hand play back off to the players.
And then in retaliation, Maz takes the 2 short swords with some height right from the flying and does like a downward slash from, kind of like left shoulder going downwards towards her right side. So kind of like a diagonal slash, attacking the guard.
This one?
Sorry, wait. Which one?
This one? Or
Is that within melee range?
Yeah, they're both within melee range. Whichever.
Yeah.
Is it the one that
Yeah.
you did the vengeance on, or the one that tried to
No,
grab you?
no.
Okay.
So this one.
Okay. All right. So
Really in retaliation for that.
Yeah, makes sense. Go ahead and make your attack roll, 2d12.
So I got a 17 with hope. So I'm going to mark do I mark a hope?
Take a hope. Yep.
And then
17's a
that,
hit, by the way. So
okay, so 17, and that means that then I got to roll for damage, right?
right. So your short sword is 2d8 plus 4.
So I got to do the d8s. Those are pyramid-looking things.
Mhm.
So I rolled one of the wrong dice, but I got 2 1s.
Okay. Well,
So I'll just go with it. That's fine.
okay. So
But then I may re-roll any 1s or 2s with my not good enough ability.
okay.
So I'll re-roll those. Now with the proper dice. So I got a 6 and a 1.
Okay.
And I also have Body Basher. Use the full force of your body weight in a fight. On a successful attack with a melee weapon, always add your strength trait to your damage total.
Okay. So
My
hold on.
strength
You had
trait is-
6, 1 plus 4.
Yeah.
So you had 11, and then you're adding strength. So plus 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have 13 damage, which clears the major threshold. So you've marked 2 more HP on this guy.
Yeah.
And you rolled with hope. So it's still the player's turn.
I say leaving it open for someone else to jump in. I mean, Maz don't want to take the spotlight.
Bogha, kind of seeing what's going down, what's rumbling, is gonna kind of slink into the back here,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna get within range.
Okay.
To use Rain of Blades.
That's on any enemies very close. So that's everybody in this room. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Good with that.
Just gotta figure out how this one works.
So your spellcast roll is 2d12 and then add 2 to it.
That's 17
Okay. Good.
with hope.
You hit every single person in the room. Take a hope as well. I mean, you don't hit Maz, to be clear.
Strike anyone. And a single D8? Yeah, a single D8.
Any targets, all targets that you succeed against take D8 plus 2. Yes.
Cool. And then, are any of them vulnerable right now?
I don't think anybody has that condition, no.
Cool. So that's going to be 7 damage.
7 damage.
Oh, hang on. No, it's 2d8. It's 2d8. I
Hey,
didn't even realize.
I think it's 1d8. It's confusing down at the bottom, but it says all targets that you succeed against take d8 plus 2, and I think the 2d8 is if a target's vulnerable. No, why does it say 2d8 plus 2? Oh, it's because your proficiency. It's your proficiency. Okay, yep, you're right. 2d8 plus 2.
So that'd be a 9 then.
Okay. 9 is with the plus 2 and everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty terrible rolls.
The good news is you are still doing damage to everybody, so don't worry too much about that.
You just see the knives kind of conjure from somewhere within Bogha's cloak. Just kind of fire out different directions.
I love it. I love it. And you rolled with hope as well, so it's still not my turn. This card right here, by the way, looking pretty rough.
Cool. I think that's... Oh, actually, no, I'm quite close, aren't I? I'm actually going to use, if I'm allowed, my primary weapon.
Okay.
Which is my hand runes.
Okay.
She'll be instinctual.
And you're going to use it on the guy who's pretty hurt?
The one to the right of Maz.
Okay. So okay. That one. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Is 14. So that's a 16.
That's a 16 to hit.
Roll. Yep.
That's a hit. God, you guys,
Lovely.
I might have to rethink some of these difficulties because you guys basically have not missed.
Never miss. Is that a D10 as well? I'm just trying to figure out which dice is which. Yeah, that's a D10. Cool. And then it's 2d10 magical damage.
Okay.
And that's 15 with hope.
15. Okay. You guys, okay, you cleared the major, so he's taking 2 hit points. And he's not dead, but I definitely, if he makes it through this, he's definitely going to have to file for workman's comp for sure. So, I don't know. It's still your turn. Still. Yeah.
No, that's it.
By the way, Hilo, would you like to do anything? Would you like to? I don't want to make sure everybody's getting involved in the combat unless you're feeling that Hilo is taking it a little low key.
Well, since I'm a little far back and I don't have any good range stuff, I was going to let Yriel go first.
Okay.
I think kind of move around the side here.
Okay.
Is that I'm like moving around behind people. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's just, again, room is just to give you an idea. It's not actually where.
And Pazu, of course, by my side, and just going to attack the archer.
Okay.
Both of us.
Both of you are okay.
Okay. So let's look at this again. Okay, Ranger's focus. I spend a hope and make an attack.
Mm-hmm.
That's my D12s, right?
Yes. Yep.
Oh.
So -1 hope.
That is 19 with fear.
Okay. That is absolutely still a hit. I gotta changed. You guys are
And-
rolling crazy high.
Then damage. It's 2d8. Yeah. That's not the right
Yes.
ones.
That's correct.
Those dice match. They're not the same. They're the same set, not the same dice. Okay, that is 6 damage.
Okay.
On the dice.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay, and then also the damage
Causes a stress.
does a stress, yeah.
Yep, I got it.
Okay.
The archer wishes he had fleed further. He's looking pretty rough.
And then I have Pazu attack.
Okay.
So this is the agility roll.
Mm-hmm.
That is 25 with hope.
Good lord.
We all have rigged dice. We all have rigged dice at this point.
Apparently.
You gotta.
Except for earlier.
you
When I
rolled
got
a-
three.
Actually, Michael, just so you know, Michaela actually sent us all these special dice before we got together today. I just wanted to let you know.
That does sound like her.
Yep.
So you rolled a
Yep,
22 plus 3? Good lord. Okay.
I did, yes.
Okay, well, how much damage do you do?
That is 2d6.
Man, I
10.
10. Okay, he's dead. He's very dead.
Okay, he did.
There was no answer you could have given me where he wasn't dead, but he was.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
just to be clear. Okay.
oh, what's crazy is so I took these characters from the book and I adjusted them so they would match your level more. It hasn't mattered because you guys, every single roll is in the 20s.
Perfect
So-
adjustment, let's be honest.
I blame Svetlana personally. I think that's really the biggest one, you know?
I didn't do anything in this round right here.
All right, so
She's still just sitting on her prayer dice
Yeah.
over there.
Mhm.
Archer is no longer with us. He has gone to the great jagged knife in the sky. But you did roll with fear, I believe. I believe Yriel
Yes. Yes,
rolled
I
with
did.
fear. So that means it's guard time, baby. I just wanted to say it's guard time, baby. That doesn't really mean anything. Oh, you know what? Oh well. There's a feature that I wasn't using of theirs. Both guards are going to attack with their swords. This guard, seeing what Pazu has just done to his archer friend, who he's known since childhood, they played in the streets together.
He shot first.
Is going to swing at Pazu, which is a 16 to hit on Pazu.
Okay, that is a hit.
Okay, and
Hold on.
yeah, go ahead. Mhm.
Okay, this is the danger sense one. Mark a stress to make an adversary reroll an attack against you or an ally in close range.
Okay,
Go again.
that's a natural 20.
Stop that.
I mean, I don't think I get anything for a natural 20, but it's just nice to roll like you guys for once.
not, not to be left out.
Yeah.
Okay. Pazu takes a stress.
Yes, I was going to say, I'm not even going to bother rolling damage. It's basically, I want you to think of the swinging at Pazu as more like a get back sort of gesture than because harming animals is gross and I don't like it. So more of a get back type gesture, and Pazu kind of whimpers a little bit, but then stands their ground. The other guard is, having seen the Rain of Blades, is going to make a swing at Bogha.
Might be the first time I've actually been swung at.
That is a unnatural 20.
Unnatural.
It's an 18 plus 2. So I assume that is a hit. You've got 10 evasion.
Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
It is a hit.
Okay. Sorry, I thought there was a but coming.
I'm
It is a
going
hit,
to-
but okay, there it is.
There. I have Rune Ward,
Okay, I'm with you.
which is I carry a crystal ball.
Okay.
Obviously,
Mhm.
as one of my trinkets. as you do, just there. And I can spend a hope to reduce damage by 1d8.
Okay. All right. So I need to roll damage, and then you also roll a d8, and we'll see how much less it is. Oh, these are not good rolls, my friend.
Don't worry. I think we're on the same page here.
What did you roll?
2.
Okay. So 6 damage. 6 damage. That is at your major threshold. So you would take 2 unless you reduce it in some fashion.
No, that's it.
That's at major.
Yes. You
So
can
if I
spend an
reduce
armor
by
slot if you
2,
want.
Well,
And then
I have prayer dice to reduce by 2. So
Oh, okay.
it would get down to 4. So then it would just be 1 HP.
Okay. You can use
Oh.
her prayer dice. All right.
Oh.
Ooh.
All right. That
Awesome.
is. I think that's the extent.
Well,
Oh, you know, what am I saying?
Wasn't
Oh,
there a third guard?
well, the archer's dead, so there was 3 guards.
No, there's only 2.
Yeah, there are 2 guards that you can see. All right. Play goes back to the players. Hilo, Svetlana, if you would like to jump into the room, or anybody else who wants to go. I just want to make sure I'm encouraging everyone to join in, you know?
Hilo, you go. My knee. Oh,
I run forward and like stab with my rapiers.
Okay. You're going for this one or the dead guy for some reason?
With
I
don't forget
missed that there was
with
a guy behind me that I tried to walk by, so I'll go get that
pinky
one.
extended.
Yes.
Okay.
This one behind you right here?
Yes.
The
Okay.
lanky
All right.
pinky.
You're
The
going
lanky
with the rapiers? Okay. All right. I'm with you. So that is
a 16 with fear.
16 with fear. Okay. Did you notice that you can also mark a stress and attack another target as well? Just want to. Sorry, not trying to backseat you. I just wanted to make sure you.
I did, but I wasn't thinking I needed to do that yet.
Okay. Just wanted to offer. All right. 16 with fear. 16 is a hit. I will take a fear. You know what? I'm not going to take a fear. You will you'll feel the pain in your pinky as you thrust your sword into this presumably evil person.
I don't know where my damage is. Hold on.
It's on your melee weapon there, so it's 2d8 physical is what you're looking at. Sorry, I know there are a ton of numbers that we have to go over all of the time.
I had to swap over to the look at the different section I never look at. That's fine.
It's at the, like, in terms of, it's at the top where your active weapons are. It shows like what your roll is for attack and then what your roll is for damage. I'll drop the little section.
That would be a 10.
A 10? Tell me how you dispose of this guard, because he's dead.
Oh, well, with the flourish and with my pinky out, just kind of a boink, just poink, right in the eye.
Right in the eye? Is that what you said? All
Indeed.
right. Another dead guard, but you rolled with fear, right?
Indeed again.
Indeed again. Oh, God, I don't know what to do here. This guard did not plan to be the last one standing. His abilities are more suited for being in a group. This guard is going to attempt to reach out for Yriel and attempt to take Yriel as almost like a hostage, like kind of the whole like putting Yriel between him and the rest of you with the sword to her neck. Is going to attempt to do that via the detain action, which has never worked for me so far. But that is
There's always a first time.
a 17 against your 13 evasion. So it looks like the guard reaches and puts Yriel between him and the rest of you, and has here we'll do some repositioning. Has a blade to Uriel's neck That is about all I can do.
Maz holds her short swords and puts them down towards her sides in a less threatening manner, and then kind of nods over towards Svetlana, and then Bogha, and then Hilo, and then looks the guard directly in the eyes and says, you are clearly outnumbered and outmatched. What would you like to do here?
I'd like to live. Kind of tightens his grip on Yriel's neck a little bit. By the way, Yriel, you are restrained is the official term.
If you can start to lower that blade slightly as a sign of good faith, you might get out of here with your life. My friend behind me is a healer. She can help you if you work with us.
He considers, looks around, doesn't lower the blade. I've seen what you do to people who are in your way, and I know that that's what I am. How do I know I will get to go free?
If you renounce the jagged knife, then we have no qualm with you.
To renounce the jagged knife is to put the blade to my own neck.
But is it better a knife in your neck today or a knife in your neck in 2 months when they find you? Which do you prefer?
Prefer to not have the knife in my neck at all.
Well, that makes two of us.
If you can show us a sign of good faith, the only thing we can promise you is your life now. And that is the only bargain that we have, or the only offer we have to give.
He weighs the options, and then the blade slowly drops from Yriel's neck. Yriel, you are no longer restrained.
I just figured out how to add that.
Sorry. You can remain. You can self-restrain if you would like. You can show a little restraint.
I'm
if
known
you would like.
for my restraint. Yeah.
He, after a moment, the sword drops to the ground.
The man says, good. Now, we will let you exit this place, but please, before you go, tell us what is happening to the city. What do you know of it?
I know that it's too late. I know that the plan is already in motion. I know that if I tell you anything, the life that you have given me will be cut short before I step out this door. I know that if you're going to continue further into the depths of this place, I would do so with caution. I am not the worst thing here, not even close. I won't even go as far back as this place allows. I can't say anything more, or they will kill me as soon as I speak it.
Are they listening now?
The jagged knife is always listening.
Then my companion Svetlana will determine if Kor blesses you, and you may leave with your life now, if you leave peacefully.
He looks down at the axe and the blood dripping off of it. Big gulp.
Svetlana would put her hands on her chest on the orange tinge of fur, and for a moment just sit there silently praying. And she'll open her eyes and open her hands, and from her chest she has kind of gotten a glowing yellow orb, and she will place it on his shoulder and say, "Kor is with you. Do good in his name, and you will not regret it." And then she releases.
Does that have any effect?
No, it's just
okay, just a show
her
thing.
basically praying for him that Kor will guide his steps.
He will kind of clear his throat and incredibly awkwardly weave his way through just the sheer mass of people in this tiny room.
Just the body parts lying on.
Don't trip over the head on your way out.
The what? And then he steps out the door, and the door closes behind him. And you hear something slam as if braced up against the door.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, no.
And that seems like a pretty good place to stop for the day.
What?
Boo.
How dare? How
That
dare
seems
you?
totally reasonable. I see no problem here.
I mean,
This is why Svetlana does not leave any people alive.
No more survivors.
She does not usually. I'm sorry,
There will be
Svetlana.
no
I'm sorry.
survivors.